Amy, a documentary that details certain chapters from the musician Amy Winehouse's life and the parallels between her life and the songs she wrote and sang. The film is directed by British filmmaker Asif Kapadia, who unveiled the deeper identity of Amy Winehouse of being a brilliant musical genius who had encountered some unfortunate circumstances and was battling with her inner demons, which made her distinctive from the way the media and the paparazzi constructed her as a two-dimensional celebrity caricature who's a trashy drunk. The film was released in 2015, 4 years after Amy's death, in order to enable viewers to develop a deeper understanding of Winehouse's complexity that enabled her to create some of the most genius music, but also position each of her songs as a sign of self-destruction, which Kapadia signifies by demonstrating the parallels between her songs and her life, especially her tumultuous romantic relationship with her ex-husband Blake. Her music is used as a tool to unravel the nature of a relationship dynamic with Blake, which was evident in a scene where Amy's voice from a past interview is utilized. Amy talks about how her love for Blake is like a drug, and then her song, Unholy War, begins to play over still photos of her handwritten lyrics of her song, which fade in and out of still photos of her and Blake holding hands in the park, to signify how she was willing to give up her morals for her love for Blake.
Warm round of applause for Amy Winehouse.
Similarly, shots of her singing at a concert, You Know I'm No Good, is combined with the key lyrics of the song being included in the caption by the film editor, and professionally recorded shots from the concert cuts back and forth to past handheld archival footage of her and Blake kissing to highlight the complicated nature of the relationship, as they were amorous with each other, yet they both cheated on each other as well. The way the footage and the still image of Amy's handwritten lyrics fade in and out to other footage and the inclusion of voiceovers from past interviews has a powerful impact in making the viewers understand that every song Winehouse had written was not written just for the sake of only creating music or a beat for everyone to dance to, but it was to tell the facts of her life and situation in the form of a melodic story. One of the features that stood out for me in this documentary is how there are not any shots of the interviewees speaking into the camera as they talk about their experience with Amy, but instead their testimonies are presented by being synchronized with still images or archival footage, enabling them to become a voiceover likewise to Amy's voice from past interviews she had given, which enables the viewers to feel that Amy is still alive to tell her story.
But I don't think I'm going to be at all famous.
The film is constructed like a linear narrative that is likewise to an actual scripted biopic, as the film begins where Amy is 14 years old and is singing happy birthday to her childhood best friend, and from there onwards her roller coaster journey unfolds. The film progresses in telling her story in a chronological order, where it shows Winehouse's early teens to her love for jazz blossoming, to her going back and forth with encountering many challenges that were reflected in her music, yet not actually seen by the world. What I love about the film is how it does not showcase Amy's story and identity as black and white, where she was a good person or a bad person. The film delves into many gray areas and showcases the many layers within Amy's identity of how she was not a saint because she had cheated on her ex-husband, but he also did the same thing to her and they both were addicted to drugs and alcohol. However, she had certain life experiences that triggered that behavior. Yet she was also a very giving and loving person who appealed to the common people. And she was a musical genius who was a jazz singer who wanted to create music, but she did not want to be famous at the same time. And in the end, in her will in life was to just disappear. The way the archival footage, past interviews, and voiceovers by Amy was presented made it seem that all the past footage that was recorded before she passed away was created for the purpose of making a cinematic movie, even though that footage was recorded when the film was not even conceived, and it was recorded for possibly the sake of keeping memories for the future.